Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, or whatever time you're watching this. I'm DiDi and thank you for joining me for Flosstube number 20. Wow, I didn't think I would ever make it this far. I've started and stopped so many times. So yeah, I'm at 20 at the moment. So yes, my rotation still stinks. My first shift I spent a total of 12 hours straight in the hospital. Yesterday I also had a 12-hour shift, but we're on call, so only if we're called in I need to be in the hospital. I spent a total of, well, let's say I spent more time in the car than actually seeing patients. Yeah, so great. And I'm still, when I look at my screen over there, I see that my dress is as blue as the couch. My dress is purple, lilac. So how this happened, I have no idea. How this happened, no idea either, but I do know where it's from. So we're gonna just put it back where it belongs afterwards. I did get some good stitching in. I worked around, during the week I worked I think 50 hours, so there wasn't a lot of time left to stitch, but I did get some good stitching in the last 2 weeks. And since I finished up Jolly July, I'll start with my Christmas projects or winter projects. Then I'll have one new start because it's a new month, it's August. I've got a new start. I've got one tiny piece of haul, and of course we've got the giveaway winner. Yeah, I'll talk about that process in just a minute. But let's start with all the wintry projects. So first I worked on Visit Hogsmeade by Country Magic Stitch. I'm stitching this on a 32 count antique ivory. And the goal is to finish the first 2 pages, the top 2 pages, and I'm getting pretty close. So last time you saw it, I was somewhere in the blue there. So I finished this and then all the fill-in down below. So I'm all the way to the bottom of the page. It's much easier just going over and up. So it was much easier just to pick the colors I wanted to stitch on. I'm getting so close to having 2 pages finished. I'm definitely gonna make this year. But yeah, it's looking pretty and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And I'm still happy that there's a smudge in the fabric there. It's on the back, so nobody's gonna see. Then I worked some more on last year's Historicistic Musters Christmas stitch along. I purchased their kit and I'm using the Silk app. And I already made this year's goal, which was 50% done. So the top half, I worked on the bottom, the 3rd quarter. Got some good stitches in. Quite loving this project. This is a 36 count wide stitched, which was Swaddle J, the called for, over 1/2. And I'm actually loving the silk stitching. So much so that I ordered some more. Oh well. Yes, I felt sorry for myself. I've been 1 day in quarantine. Turns out I just had a cold, but oh well, I needed to be tested. And so I had to spend the day at home. And I had a pretty bad cold. I had to stitch on this. I hardly stitched any. Oh. Then I stitched some more on Suit E-Days 2021 stitch along. It's La Nuit de Noël, La Nuit de Noël by Jardin Privé, and I'm stitching it on banding, a 30 count, and I got some more done. I finished up the snowflake and I finished something there. I believe I did, since you last saw it. It might be that I already showed all of this. I have no idea. Either way, I'm really liking the wide stitching on this banding. There's a lot. It's not that long, but I needed a little extra. So otherwise I could just use it for a small. It's real thick, pretty hard to stitch on, but I'm okay. We're getting there. It's looking cute. And that was all the Christmas stitching I did. I actually did some good stitching afterwards as well. So I actually picked up my wheel. For those of you who do not know, and I realize why I hardly ever have my hair down. It's getting everywhere. But normally I use my wheel, the random decision maker wheel, in which I have placed all my projects, and each month I either start a new kitted up project or a new kit. Well, I got the kitted up projects. It is from a magazine. This is Doodlebloods. It's the Dutch cross-stitch magazine, issue 57, which is no idea which year this is. Really want to know? I think it's going to be somewhere around July 2013. And I'm stitching this lovely sampler in autumn colors. I just love the colors. I love the butterflies. It's pretty big. Yeah, pretty big. But I'm loving it. It was charted in anchor threads. I don't have anchor threads, and I just converted it to the DMC. And I'm stitching it on a 32 count of white cheese linen, and this is how far I've gotten. So it's not that much, but it's a good corner, and I started on the letters. But look at these colors. I'm liking these colors. They're all pretty orangey and stuff. I'm liking it. Sorry, it's that kind of day, guys. It's that kind of day. Then yesterday I worked on, it's in no order as usual. I worked on the rovares hearts, and this is gonna glare like crazy. Will we do it? No. Yes, yes. So rovares hearts, I'm stitching this on a 36 count cheese linen in cream with DMC 115, so the variegated one. I was somewhere around there, so I finished up this line and I'm going across. So I'm almost done with the first heart, which has the least amount of stitching. But I think it's looking pretty. It's really looking pretty. And I enjoy stitching on this fabric. It's stiff, very stiff. Like, guys, it's stiff. It's, yeah. but the holes are easy to see, and it's not a project that I'm most likely gonna frame. So I just picked something and I'm stitching it, because then I picked up Compagnie du Mouton by Jardin Privé. So it's this cutesy lady with the sheep. I worked one day on this. I finished up the dress and added some of the white blobs for sheep and started on the heads and feet of the sheep. It's a nice project to work on. This is a 28 count platinum by Zweigart. And in real life, well, in camera as well, those little sheep do appear. It's just a fun stitch to do. Just a fun stitch. I stitched some more, not as much as I would have liked to, but I picked up my Stitch on Me Halloween 2021 cell, or 2020 cell, no idea, 2020 or 2021. Either way, it's Stitch on Me. It's on a 16 count oatmeal Aida. Didn't stitch that much. I finished up the mask and I'm starting on it. And goal for this project this year is to finish it. The moment you sit and work on it, it goes pretty fast, but I need to pick it up. But since I'm respinning the wheel, it might happen. Let's do the giveaway winner. Yay! So, quick story. I told you I'm giving away this pattern, sorry for the glare. So the Night Fairy by La Nachte, designed by Maria van Scharrenburg. And I got this first, found out that there were no DMC numbers on it. I got the booklet. And I said, well, I have this, I'm not going to use it, so let me give it to someone who wants it. It turns out it was easier said than done to find out all the numbers, because the symbols do not match. In some places the patterns do not match. So if you're getting this, I did it to the best of my abilities, matched, rematched. It really was very therapeutic, and I'm not showing you the pattern, but I wrote on the pattern. So yeah, and then Tracy from Tracy's Crafts, also a cross stitcher. She has the same booklet, so we're both gonna stitch the Daytime Fairy. We're gonna do a sell. I'm so excited to sell with her. I do have the fabric. I'm waiting for the DMC to arrive from Italy. And guys, have you heard DMC is going up in prices? Like, seriously? Luckily I ordered before the prices went up, but guys, why? I know why. Everything's getting more expensive. But yeah, let's look at my random comment picker and see who won. So congratulations, Maureen. Sorry. Maureen, she's also a Dutchie. Maureen, if you would be so kind to send me an email or contact me on Instagram. You will find the details in the description box. I'll get this to you as soon as possible. As soon as possible, I promise. So I'm really hoping you're going to enjoy stitching this lovely. And then yesterday I was at my parents' place. No, I was at my parents' place last Wednesday. I was there yesterday as well, and I'm gonna go today. Yeah. They have a good garden. I live in an apartment. But my mom saw me on Wednesday and said, "Did you know my grandma who passed away, had a sampler?" I said, "Well, I saw it." "Well, did you know your great-grandmother stitched it?" I said, "No." She said, "Well, yes, she did. Would you like to have it? Otherwise, it's just gonna go to the trash because nobody's into stitching." So, here I have the sampler, an antique heirloom sampler stitched by my great-grandmother, so my grandma's mother, in August 1912. And the reason why I couldn't figure out who stitched this, because everything is out of order. So even your regular ABCs on the top border, top line aren't normal. So, and she put her name over multiple lines. So I'm gonna go, where are we? There. Her name is Johanna van der Pol. So we're gonna go there. Johanna van der Pol, stitched in Wijk, the place my grandma used to live, my great-grandmother grew up. 1912, AUGUST, so August. And there are some lovely designs, baskets down below, but it's also used as practice to fix materials, so you can actually see how she tried the practice as well. So there's some practice over there. It's very old, so there's some parts where the threads are even coming apart. It's stitched one thread over a very open weaved mesh. But yeah, it's an heirloom. I've got it, and knowing it was for my great-grandmother, who was pretty tall. The reason most likely why I am as tall as I am, it was framed by my grandmother, because the framer I used to go with her to that framer, so I know my grandmother's framed it. But yeah, I've got my own heirloom sampler, so it's gonna stay with me. I might try and rechart it. I might. It is quite cool to have this. So yeah, my first antique sampler. Very proud of it. I need to find a good place to put it, but I'm liking it. Yeah. And if we continue with the antique stuff, because I only have a tiny piece of haul, the rest is on its way from Italy. Casa Senina, it's the store I use for my larger orders. They were having a Christmas in July sale. which meant they had 20% off of everything, including flosses and fabrics and all the beads and crayonics and stuff. Well, I have one memorabilia, Adia the Garden Fairy, and I have the Winter Goddess by Joan Elliott, which I both love but need a lot of cryonic and Mill Hill beads. If I want to order Mill Hill beads, I'll need to order it from Casa Sanina because I haven't found a store in the Netherlands that has them. So I placed the order for all the beads, all the cryonics, all the DMCs I needed for another project. I placed orders for some overdyed threads, some fabric. Guys, it's gonna be, yeah. And then I placed an order on the same day for another store in the Netherlands because I'm going there and I wanted to pick up some stuff. So I actually checked and double checked where the flosses were the cheapest. So yes, they're coming. There's a lot coming. But I always stitch in a Q-snap. I did not have a scroll frame, so I picked up this very, very antique scroll frame. And when I say antique, there's tape holding it together there. It cost me €5. There's even some antique stitching on there, and it's the old one where you need to get everything down there. You need to attach it, but that's fine, that's fine. So I can, it's wide enough for both. It works, it rolls, it works on the back with these butterfly knobs. And if I'm looking at it correctly, I can even get, you can get these out. It could be smaller, but I'm not gonna try and bend this old wood. It doesn't seem like a good thing to do. But yeah, it was fun. I didn't think she was gonna send with me the threads, so the unfinished piece. It's a Lenarte kit, 10 stitched. Someone wasn't minding their backs because this is a mess. And it was a printed kit, that's all I can tell you. Most likely this is very old, yeah. So this is gonna go, but I thought it was a fun surprise getting this old thingamabob. It works, it works. So I can get it pretty tight. We're just gonna see, and if it doesn't work, I'll figure something else out. But it's getting a new life at my place. So that's it for today. My plans are that in 2 or 3 weeks, I'm gonna go and meet Jacob from Modern Folk Embroidery, for which I'm very excited. I'm gonna visit my stitchy shop. I'll be almost done with my rotation. Yes. And I'm gonna stitch. I'm gonna be spinning my wheel. Today I'm stitching on the dragons from Wienburg. Blitz Stitch is posting a lot. I'm not that far done. You'll see it in my next video. And thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to, I would be very happy, because I guess there are some who have a red subscription button. It's angry. Guys, click it. Make sure it's a happy button. Also, please hit the like button. It really helps getting my video out there. And I would like to thank you all so much for watching. Houdoe!